through, I don't know, some post that someone had put a link to, and it was called 25 Habits of People Who Are Happy, Healthy, and Successful. And so it was just kind of, there's some good things in there, so I figured I would share it with you guys. So they start out by saying, who among us doesn't want to be happy, healthy, and successful, and a successful human being? Still, it can be easy to lose your way, which is why I compiled a list of habits you can use to help reach your goals. So what is it about happy people that makes them the way they are? Well, what are just some of the ways they separate themselves from the rest of the crowd? Okay, so one, they don't hold grudges. Holding grudges requires a lot of negative energy that you're funneling into an area. And it takes away from our ability to be positive and healthy. Two, they think outside of the box. So it's like the classic example of Apple. They didn't get to where they're at by thinking inside the box. They really kind of were forerunners in their field. Three, they go by a routine and make exercise a part of it. It takes practice to develop healthy habits and stick with them. Once you do, your internal foundation will be strong. The number one thing that you can do for your adrenal glands is having a routine. Your adrenal glands are what's involved with the stress response. You're too busy, you're too stressed, your adrenal glands constantly are working. So if you have a routine, if you're going to bed at the same time, you're eating at the same time, all those things support the health of your adrenal glands. And actually, to back up, I meant to say that get a pen and paper out, and I want you guys to pick one of these things that resonates with you and like really focus on in the next week, trying to take steps towards achieving whatever goal it is, or whatever one it comes up that you like. Four, they have a supportive tribe, thereby not wasting time with negative or toxic people. I think it's really important to remove the toxic people from your life. And I don't think that we should feel bad about it. I think we kind of have a desire to not want to offend people, but I think it's important to take care of yourself, especially when, we have a lot going on with our businesses and our families and our life, so I think it's important to weed out that kind of stuff. Five, they don't care about what other people think. Does a tiger lose sleep over the opinion of sheep? So someone's always going to have an opinion of you, of what you're doing, of how you're doing it. But being centered and confident in who you are and what you're doing, it doesn't require your ego to get involved in order to please everybody else. Six, they don't please people. So kind of along the same lines, but you'll never please everyone. And if you're true to yourself and your life's purpose, then that's pleasing for everyone else around you. They'll feel that. Seven, they see difficult and challenging situations as opportunities for personal growth. So again, it's about being positive versus being negative. Not, this situation happened and poor me. You can look at it and see the situation for, that can be a catalyst for change and reflection and growth. 8, they consider handling rejection a skill and are resilient. So I think it's hard to not take rejection personally. I think it's, our egos get in the way. We want everyone to like us. We want everyone to want our services or whatnot. And but not every person's right for every person. So that's just the way it will always be. 9, they make time for themselves. Whether it's getting 8 hours of sleep every night, finding 15 minutes to read the newspaper in peace, or an hour to go to the gym, they make it a priority, just like everything else. When you take care of yourself, you have bigger impact on others. I think that's very true. 10, they are spiritual. This doesn't necessarily mean religious. It could mean setting aside time for reflection through yoga or meditation. This really allows you to have a deeper relationship with yourself. And once you have a deeper relationship with yourself, you're going to be that much better off in your personal life and business life. They practice deep breathing. I like that because on all my treatment plans I have this line that says deep breathing. And I encourage my patients to take 50 deep breaths a day, because I remember years ago when I wasn't really aware of taking a deep breath, I'd be like, wow, I just took a deep breath for so many weeks. And how many people do that? How many of us do that,
Yeah, I noticed it all the time. Wow.
Yeah, you're like, oh, that was weird. So I encourage people to take either 4 or 5 counts, but 4 counts in and 4 counts out through your nose, in through the nose and out through the nose. It helps us to come into more of a parasympathetic state. So, which is, that's not like that. Okay, moving right along. They know there isn't such a thing as having it all, and they're happy about that. Wouldn't the world be a boring place for them otherwise? So I think the desire to have more than what you have stems from a discontentment within yourself. So that's important to look at. 13, fear doesn't hold them back. They're ready to take risks. So for example, when I'm mountain biking, if I look at every single rock, I go slower, I'm more afraid. But if I don't look at all these rocks, and I'm not afraid by all these rocks, I just have fun and I'm going faster and it's easier. They know how to say no and don't hold back. These people have learned to set boundaries, plenty of them. That's important. It's about taking care of yourself. 15, they learned a great deal from other people whom they admire. Either they have a great mentor or they took note of how those they aspire to be handled various situations. So if you've never had a mentor and you want to grow and learn, I think that's an important tool for everyone in whatever business you're in. They follow their inner guidance. Not only do they have a vision, but they follow it. So back before I talked about intuition and using that within your business and personal life, and that's along that same line, trusting your inner guidance. 17, they give without expecting anything in return. So you should never think that there's a string attached. You should just be giving because we want to give. 18, they aren't pretentious or conceited. That's a big turnoff. And it often comes from insecurities. Passion is what drives them. They authentically believe in what they're doing. And I think we all do this in this group really, really well. I think that's what makes us a really cool group of people. They don't complain, which is just more negativity funneling into something we don't need it to be. And it's not an attractive marketing strategy. They live by their core values in both their professional and personal lives. And I think that when someone's congruent within themselves, you can feel that. 22, they're happy to swim against the tide. 23, they finish what they start. 24, they don't compare themselves to other people. And 25, they want you to succeed too.
Awesome.